All right, week 14 is basically in the books. We got every game done except for one on Monday night. Just going back, looking at some of the things that happened on Sunday, some of the things that stuck out. Saw the injuries that was kept on popping up. We had major injuries going around the league. Ones in particular, Zach Ertz. He was a tight end for the Washington Commanders. He left with a apparent ACL injury. He was carted out. We seen him crying and being very emotional during the process. So that's an injury to look out for. Even though the Commanders wasn't really doing too much, but he was a key part of their team. Also, going back to another key part of their team, Jaden Daniels, the actual starting quarterback, who missed quite some time. I think about 4 or 5 games with a egregious left arm injury that was broken. Basically, he came back just because it wasn't his throwing arm, but he re-injured that in the game today against the Vikings, and it looked pretty bad. Honestly, they got eliminated for playoff contention. So if I'm the coaching staff, if I'm the ownership, I don't want to see Jaden Daniels back on the field for this year. Like, there's no point in him playing for this season. I don't understand why he would want to play for this season, but maybe it's a pride thing. He want to prove that he can still go out there and put everything out there, but I don't think it's worth it. Marcus Mariota, I think he'll be the starting quarterback going forward for the rest of the season. He actually was doing pretty good. His skill set is similar to Jaden Daniels, even though Jaden Daniels is a younger, better version of Marcus Mariota. But yeah, those 2 injuries for the Commanders really hurt them. Like I said, they got eliminated today. They wasn't able to put any points on the board against the Vikings. But yeah, those 2 injuries actually hurt Devon Achane. He had a rib injury for the Miami Dolphins. He didn't return to the game. He had a good output before he got injured, but he wasn't able to return. Running back for the Dolphins, that was a major injury. But the one I really want to talk about is the one for the Indianapolis Colts, the quarterback Daniel Jones. He already had a fractured fibula in his left leg, but he actually got an apparent Achilles injury in the other leg today while playing. It was like a non-contact injury, and he wasn't able to put like much pressure on it, so it was like very bad. The backup quarterback, who's also a rookie, Riley Leonard, was drafted, I think, in the 6th round of the previous year's draft, and he came in to, I guess, try to put up a fight against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but it wasn't much he could do. I think that he might need some more time with the number ones in practice this week to look better than what he did, but I will say that the chances for the Indianapolis Colts making the playoffs without Daniel Jones is looking pretty bleak. Just looking at the upcoming schedule, they got 4 games. They're really, really tough. They're playing against the Seahawks, playing against the 49ers, playing against the Jaguars, and then I think they're playing against the Texans again. So the last 4 games is all teams that are way over 500. So some of the teams won today. So that's going to make it even harder for the Colts to make the playoffs. I don't think that they're going to be able to do it unless a miracle happens and Riley Leonard is the second coming of Tom Brady. I don't know, but I just don't see that happening. So I think that the Colts are going to be the odd team out. It might be either the Texans who make it, or you may see a team come in. Yeah, I think it has to be the Texans, or if it's a miracle, maybe the Chiefs make it. So I think one of those 2 teams will take the gold spot. I just think they're not going to be able to hold on. They started off 7-1. Now they're 8-5. So they lost 4 of their last 5 games. So that's not really looking too good. But on to a positive note, we're going to look at Shedeur Sanders. He played another starting game for the Cleveland Browns. Him individually, he's playing against the Texans today. The Browns against the Texans. Individually, this is his first 300-yard passing game. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 through the air and 1 rushing. He also did have 1 interception, but for the most part, he looked pretty good. I think that the Browns, even though it was against the Titans, I will say that, but he did look pretty good. He completed a lot of his passes. He had, like I said, the 1 interception was like really egregious, and he shouldn't have thrown it, but he looked pretty good for the most part. I think this is what you expect him to look like against the Titans, so that's a good sign. But yeah, I think that the Cleveland Browns, they should stick it out and see what they have for Shedeur for the rest of the year. Like I said, the Browns defense is so good that you don't really need to put up too many points in order to win, but they did lose the game. They put up 29 points, which is a lot more than they're used to putting up, but they allowed 31 points, which is kind of not normal. So yeah, but that's a good thing. Shedeur Sanders, 300 yards. Like I said, I think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback if the Browns give him time to develop. So today was a good sign for that. So yeah, that was the takeaways that I had from week 14. The injuries, Daniel Jones' injury is major. The Colts, I don't know if they're going to be the rebound. Zach Ertz, Jaden Daniels, Devon Achane, just to list a few. And yeah, we'll see what the rest of week 14. We got a Monday Night Football game for the Eagles and the Chargers. But for week 14, this is pretty much what I summed up. The injuries were crazy, and I don't know if the Colts are going to make the playoffs. We'll see.